Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of the Shooting Show. Welcome to today's program, friends. We have a great show for you. Let me pass something on to you. Our .460 Rowland Dan Wesson revolver is being featured in the new Guns magazine, and this should be on the newsstand just any time. John Taffin, certainly one of the very best gun writers out there. John's a real shooter. I mean, he's really an advanced handgun shooter and hunter. And he wrote a very nice article on our .460 Rowland. The good news about Taffin is we don't pay him to write good articles. He is very sincere and honest and just a very skilled writer as well as a shooter. And he did a very nice write-up. In fact, he featured some of the ammunition we featured here on the program, some of the Dan Wesson specialty loads, and these guns are now starting to get out around the country. There is a waiting list, but the factory, the Dan Wesson Company, is really working to overcome their backlog on our .460 Dan Wesson revolvers. They're great guns. I tell you, they're super shooters. They're so nicely made. And I know each one of you that has gotten one of these, we've talked at some point, and everyone has been so happy with the performance of their Dan Wesson revolver. So please look for that. In the August issue of Guns magazine, got a real nice feature on the Dan Wesson and on our .460 cartridge. Well, friends, several things we want to talk to you about this week, and we have a special something I think you're going to enjoy seeing. But we have a real serious problem as gun owners. Coming up on the 19th of this month in Frankfort, Kentucky, the government is going to do a joint training mission. They're going to have the military down there, the National Guard, a lot of federal agencies working in conjunction with state agencies, and this is under the guise of some sort of emergency. They're going to pretend there's an earthquake at the New Madrid Fault, and then the Clintonistas are going to pretend that there's some sort of terrorist attack. Now, you know who they're classing as potential domestic terrorists. Guess who? Yeah, right. You and I. Now they're seeing us, the armed, concerned, patriotic American, they're classing us as domestic terrorists. And friends, that ought to make you mad. It makes me angry enough. I'll tell you what, just because we like guns, we like to shoot, we even like semi-automatics, nothing wrong with that. But these folks are classing us as potential terrorists. Now what they're going to do, this is starting the 19th of this month through the 23rd, they're going to have training missions on doing what? Rounding up people who resist and confiscating guns. They're going to go in homes, and yeah, this is supposed to be a practice drill. Well, I don't care what the emergency. What kind of emergency could we have in the United States that would make the federal government want to confiscate our guns? Now, please, somebody explain to me what this is about. Now, it appears this way, friends. You know, the Clintonistas have not had a tragedy. This million moron mother march that was able to get 40,000 people to Washington, they wanted hundreds of thousands. Well, they had 40,000 show up. A lot of them paid. See, nothing happened. It's fizzled out. There's nothing to it. They didn't get the giant upsurge. They've gone to Columbine High School, and they've got all the weeping people they can possibly get in front of the camera down there. Guess what? Okay, there's not a big outcry to ban guns, restrict handguns. It's not there because the public is seeing through it. So you see, the Clintonistas need some sort of tragic event that they can premise taking up our weapons with. Now that's what this is about. It ought to make you angry. It makes me furious. So I promise you this, unless we can get hold of enough congressmen this week immediately and say, look, what are you people doing? Does the Congress have any influence at all left in Washington, or is it just the federal empire government by decree? Do they have any influence at all? Ask them, please, let's stop this. Let's stop it, because here's what's going to happen. A very good possibility this will happen. There's some of those folks around Frankfort, Kentucky that are not going to go for this. They said, no, we ain't going to play that little game. And they're going to storm somebody's house up there, albeit supposed to be a practice run. And they're probably going to do it with live ammunition, like they're doing training all over the United States with live ammo. And some old boy out there said, no, I ain't gonna do that to my house. And somebody's gonna get hurt. And then Bill Clinton's gonna bring a wounded Marine or a dead Marine up to the cameras, and Dan Blather and that whole group goes, oh, it's a terrible thing. We've had a tragedy here. Brought on by the federal government, by these clowns that are running our country, or attempting to run it. So friends, please let me ask you now, call your congressman this week quickly, because we don't need another tragedy that these imposters who say they're our federal government, actually they're the federal empires working for the New World Order. We don't need another tragedy. We don't need a Marine hurt. There's no reason for Marines to be training with the police in Frankfort, Kentucky. There's no reason for it. It's against the law. They're doing it all over the United States right now. And so many of the local police agencies are just going along because, you know, the local police they're not highly paid people. They have a dangerous job. They have a difficult job. Most of them perform real well. But the federales come in and say, yeah, we're federal agents and you're going to be very important now. You're assisting us on a national emergency issue. This is great. The local police say, yeah, we're important now. Oh boy, look at us. Maybe they let us wear camouflage. That's how crazy this situation is. And so many of the local sheriffs, the local police departments are going for it. Some have told them to get out. There are some police chiefs out there that said, no, get out of my county, get out of town. But unfortunately, all of them don't. So friends, here it is. You know, we've got to act on it. We've got to react now quickly and call these Congress and say, look, they need to call that off. They need to call it off. Because I tell you what, Clinton thinks he doesn't realize the hornet's nest he will open if he starts going town to town, house to house, confiscating guns in America. He doesn't realize the trouble they're going to start. We don't want that. See, they can't stop, friends. They got to have total control. We got a great show for you today. I want to show something. We've got the 30-30 lever action rifle here. We've got our little mech tech. Remember, if you have one of our mech techs, and yes, we are shipping, and the factory is behind, but hopefully within the next month or 6 weeks they're going to be caught up. Please, friends, if you have one of our 460 pistol kits or you have one of the mech techs, please tell somebody, because we need to sell every one of these we can, because we don't make much on them. But we need those few dollars that we make on every one of these. Please help us if you will. You can get them right here from the program, and if you can also help us stay on there, if you can contribute anything to keep our message going out, to help us get our uplink in place, please do, friends. You know our address, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Duberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. Please, please help us if you can. Where else on television are you going to hear this message? Where else? There is nowhere else, unfortunately. Anyway, we have a great show for you, and what we have done is with our little carbine, we have essentially duplicated the ballistics of the 30-30 Winchester, except we're using a much bigger bullet. And there are folks out there that have these 30-30 rifles for home defense. Let's take a look in comparison to our new ultra-fast load, 165 grain bullet, 2,050 feet per second out of this 30-30. 170 grain bullet, 2,050 feet per second. Same ballistics essentially, but we're using a much bigger bullet.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Now friends, here's one of the most important publications you can get. This is the Great Georgia Arms Catalog, and please write their phone number down, 1-800-624-6861. This is a tremendous catalog with the best ammunition prices available in the United States. Okay, well, here's a mention of the shooting show. Hey, that's reason enough to support them right there, but you get superior ammunition at superior prices. Let's look over here. Whoops, let's see, what do we see? 460 Rowland, yes indeed, but we also see a tremendous number of other things. 45 ACPs, 44 Magnums, 41 Magnums, certainly our defense load there, defense special 41 Magnum load available, but all kinds of others. 9mm, 357 SIGs, 44 specials, 30-06s, 7 mags, all kinds of neat stuff. Plus they have components. If you want to load your own, they'll sell you lead bullets, they'll sell you nostril bullets, all kinds of great features. Yes, in fact, they'll even sell you a 460 Rowland kit for the great 1911 guns, cleaning accessories. Here's gunpowder for sale, loading equipment for sale. Friends, give them a call today. These are some of the finest people, period, that I've ever had a chance to meet. Curtis Shipley and our good friend Larry Haney from Georgia Arms, and they're helping to support the shooting show. Give them a call today. Get a free catalog, 1-800-624-6861. And please don't forget to tell them you saw it here on our show. Friends, here's a 30-30 in my right hand, and here's one of our 460s in our left. And as unbelievable as it seems, our stubby little cartridge is a full equal, and in some ways it is superior to the 30-30 in certain applications. And really, that's unreal, isn't it? Our stubby little cartridge is an equal of this great 30-30 round. Friends, we have the 30-30 rifle bullet, soft nose bullet. We've got 6 water bottles here. Let's see what happens. All right, let's take a look at our water bottles and see what happened. Well, we had 6 on the table here, and guess what? It went through, and there's our bullet, is in number 4, and of course we assumed we would have real good performance on the first couple, which we did. Because 30-30 is a real nice deer cartridge, real nice. We got through 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's the bullet. Okay, let's try the same drill with our newest, probably ultimate defense load, the 165 grain bullet coming out of our MechTech at the same velocity of our lever action carbine. Get some more water bottles, set this up. My friends, realize it destroyed 2, stopped in bottle number 4. Let's go ahead and try our new, what may be the ultimate defensive cartridge in the MechTech. Same energy level, same velocity as the 30-30. Now then, let's watch those bottles over there. All right, let's go over and take a look and see what happened. I think, my goodness, the bullet, we have pieces of our bullet. Realize it absolutely detonated. The first water bottle is in pieces here. Absolutely detonated the first bottle, and went ahead and punctured the second. Did not go all the way through, and the 4 bottles behind it are completely safe. So see, we're talking about that power level of the 30-30, but we're talking much bigger bullet, much greater expansion and energy dump. So 4 of these bottles, of course, untouched. Let's try one more experiment. Now then, friends, we've got water bottle, landscape timber, tough piece of wood, bottles behind it. Let's try our 30-30 soft nose. Let's say that we need some penetration. Let's say we do have that bearing down on us, shall we say. Let's try this with a 30-30 with a soft nose bullet. And bear in mind, you can't get 30-30 full metal jacket, not that I'm aware of anyway. Okay. Now then, of course we blew the first one up. Guess what? And the impact blew the lid off this one, but I can fix that. Put the lid back on it. Good as new. The 30-30 round did not penetrate the landscape timber. Went in here, did not penetrate our piece of wood. Let's try the same thing with our 460. Friends, what we've done, we've got exactly the same setup here. We turned our board over so there's no chance it's going to go in that hole. And we're using a 230 grain flat point full metal jacket bullet for our 460. And this is one, if you've got to go out among dangerous game, this is the one we recommend. These are easily loaded. We have a specialty maker who does supply these. But if you're worried about wild hog or bear, this would be an ideal load to use. Let's see what happens now. All right, friends. Yeah, it went through. In one side, out the other. Went through this water bottle, blew it up. Through this water bottle, in and out. This water bottle as well. So you see, the versatility that we've got is something that flatly has not been available before. And actually with less recoil, and of course, you can shoot our MechTech, our 460 cartridge, so fast. But I think a pretty dramatic demonstration there of raw horsepower. If I had to face a bear, I'd want to shoot him many times as I could.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The anti-self-defense crowd has been finding innovative ways to impose unconstitutional gun control laws without bothering with the legislative process. The recent agreement between the Clinton administration and Smith & Wesson has gotten the most attention because it affects all firearms sold by any Smith & Wesson dealer. But Massachusetts has shown the wisdom of the federal law preventing the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission from regulating firearms. It was the equivalent of that commission that decided to ban the sale of most handguns in Massachusetts. It was done in the name of safety. Then Attorney General Scott Harshberger usurped some non-legislative powers to regulate the safety of handguns as an ordinary consumer product. 34 other states have passed legislation allowing officials to regulate handguns as they would other consumer products. But in Massachusetts, one official, acting on his own, wrote rules putting guns under the consumer product regulations of the state. Interestingly, the rules were not enforced until after the spontaneous outpouring of disgust at the recent Clinton & Wesson contract. That enforcement came on April 3rd of this year when the current Massachusetts Attorney General, Thomas Riley, decided to drop the hammer. The Attorney General required all dealers to handle all their firearms the same way, namely, only guns that have the safety technology of Smith & Wesson's latest guns can be sold, and only Smith has such handguns. This becomes a powerful financial tool in the hands of the government officials that have been trying to extort the entire firearms industry. While they claim an antitrust conspiracy on the part of other manufacturers, truth be told, the attorneys general have been threatening financially debilitating lawsuits if the manufacturers do not capitulate to their gun control agenda. Massachusetts has become a lead collaborator in the effort to use public power to control a constitutionally protected industry. Massachusetts has gone one step beyond threatening a lawsuit if the firearms manufacturers do not buy into the gun control agenda of certain elected officials. Since Smith & Wesson capitulated in Massachusetts, they have been given a government-imposed monopoly of handgun sales. Isn't it great to live in a free country? From Washington, this is Larry Pratt.
Friends, to find out more information or to join Gun Owners of America, the only no-nonsense, no-compromise gun owners organization based in the Washington, D.C. area, give them a call, area 888-886-GUNS. Free phone call, 888-886-4867, and tell them you saw it on our show.
Hello, Johnny. Well, welcome you to South Carolina. We're having one of the first grass matches here. It's one of the first groups. And we want to tell the shooting show audience, shoot grass. It's a blast. Stand by. Ready now. Not your weapon. Shoot diameter now. We have 1303. Four. Ready? Stand by. Yeah, Peter, we got that.
We really appreciate Dennis Crocker going to the trouble to tape some video of their recent grass match. This is important stuff, friends. They showed us some different scenarios here that they're shooting. I think a lot of us are going to be interested in this.
Stay tuned for more of The Shootin' Show after these important messages.
Friends, these are targets similar to what we're going to use in our GRA shooting scenarios. If you would like a rule book, and in my estimation, This is the best shooting discipline for realism and for skill that there is. And our good friend Dennis Crocker has worked really hard on helping to make this new discipline what it is. So you can give Dennis a call if you'd like a rule book. If you want to order targets, we're going to have our own cardboard targets here the next couple of weeks. Call Dennis Crocker, area 864-587-8722. Again, 864-587-8722. He will help you if you want to run some of these drills in your club or your hometown, or you just would like to train what we think is the best and most realistic training out there. Dennis will fix you up. So again, 864-587-8722. And for our GRA shooting scenarios.
We want to remind you folks that a broadcast copy of our shooting shows are archived at Jim's House of Videos, area 318-869-0439, or on the internet at www.jimshouseofvideos.com. And now for our support group, custom leatherwork and saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana, all kinds of leatherwork, area 225-667-9225. And for your communications needs around the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, you can call Brooks Communication, area 505-888-2929. And to have your gun stock painted, you can call Camouflage Technologies. They're at area 909-674-6488. And for heavy equipment rentals in Southern California, give Gearlings Equipment Rentals a call at area 909-354-6476. Friends, we're almost out of time, but let's take the program out this week with a little more cowboy action shooting.
Stand by!
Range.
Go!
Here we go. Each time twice on each side. Shotgun and ladies shooting from the outside. And they swap horses. Oops. See what this lady wants to do. Now he's got to come load one.